Did you see what just happened in Venezuela? This weekend didn't just create a political headline, it forced markets to reprice possibilities overnight. Maduro was captured in a US operation. Trump is publicly talking about US running Venezuela temporarily and getting the oil flowing, and suddenly everyone is trying to figure out what it means for claims, oil, and the rebuilt trade. But here's the key. The part that matters for money isn't the shouting, it's the bottleneck. Because Venezuela's oil isn't light and easy, it's heavy, it's thick, and if heavy barrels matter again, the how becomes the whole story. So today I'm going to break this down in a simple 3-tier framework. Tier 1, claims, settlement stocks like gold reserve and Rusoro mining. Tier 2, the oil trade, flows, refiners, majors, and why it's messy. Tier 3, the main event, the heavy oil bottleneck. And that's where Aduro's heavy oil upgrading HBU fits in. Not financial advice, this is education plus framework. Here's the public setup. Maduro was captured and moved to the US, and Venezuela's leadership situation immediately turned unstable, with Delcy Rodriguez stepping in as interim president in the aftermath. Trump's messaging is very direct. He's talking about US control during transition and using American companies to rebuild Venezuela's oil infrastructure, spend billions, fix what's broken, and start producing oil. Now, whether that's realistic, legal, or sustainable is a whole separate debate. Even the UN angle is turning into a major issue. But markets don't wait for perfect clarity. They price probabilities. So let's talk about how people try to position themselves to make money. Tier 1, the claims settlement stocks. These are not normal miners. They are more like leverage exposure to arbitration awards and enforcement outcomes tied to Venezuela. They can move fast on headlines because the market starts gaming out. Is a settlement path more likely? Do claims get paid? Does the Citgo process shift? Does US influence the priority stack? This is not for everyone. It's headline driven and legal driven. For example, gold reserve, ticker symbol GRZ. The core idea is simple. Gold reserve has been pursuing enforcement of a large arbitration award against Venezuela. Reuters reported a Lisbon appeals court confirmation giving it a green light to enforce about $1.1 billion in Portugal against Venezuela. Then on top of that, late 2025 reporting and releases discussed gold reserve prevailing in an ICC arbitration against Venezuela's state development bank, Bandes, for roughly $29 million plus cost and interest, which matters because it adds pressure and potentially adds enforcement leverage. So why does this trade move on a weekend like this? Because traders start thinking, if the regime structure is disrupted and the US is influencing outcomes, does the probability of settlement or enforcement improve? Again, not a guarantee, just the logic on the tape. Next, Rusoro mining, ticker symbol RML. Rusuro's long-running arbitration award has been publicly described as $968 million plus interest, with a total due with interest historically described by the company as exceeding $1.3 billion. More importantly, for the current setup, in December 2025, Rusoro issued a Citgo update saying its US judgment, including interest, is approximately $1.5 billion, and it laid out expected consideration at closing, cash, notes, warrants, under a court-ordered priority waterfall structure. So, same concept. If Venezuela headlines changed, the perceived probability of payment pathways, these names can move. But listen, this is not a safe money. It's legal complexity, political risk, and timelines we cannot control. Tier 2, the oil trade. The clean story is Venezuela holds massive reserves. US wants the barrels. Majors come back, oil flows, and everybody wins. The real story is, even if policy shifts, rebuilding output is a multi-year job with major capital needs. And the legality plus geopolitics are kind of messy. Trump is explicitly pitching the spend billions to fix infrastructure angle. But even in the immediate tape, oil prices didn't go vertical. Markets are weighing global supply and demand and uncertainty. So as a trade, oil here can whipsaw on sanctions, embargo language, infrastructure realities, legal UN pressure, and who actually controls what's on the ground. So why is heavy oil the bridge to the main event? Here's the bridge that matters. Venezuela isn't just oil, it's heavy oil. And heavy oil has a problem that doesn't care who the president is. You don't just turn on heavy oil like a kitchen faucet. You have to move it, blend it, and sell it into the right refinery system. Which brings us to the bottleneck, and this is why Aduro Clean Technologies discussion gets very, very interesting. Let's simplify heavy oil. Bitumen and extra heavy crude are thick. Think peanut butter. You think you can move it through a pipeline? Absolutely not. You have to dilute it or mix it with diluent. And diluent isn't free. It's a cost. It's logistics. And it also takes up space in the pipeline. Then comes pricing. Heavy sour barrels tend to sell at a discount to light benchmarks. For example, Western Canadian Select reporting has shown the discount to WTI after living in the low to mid-teens per barrel in normal conditions, and it can widen in stress conditions. So you get hit twice. You pay to make it flow, and you sell it for less money. That's the bottleneck. Now, that's why I've been talking about Aduro's heavy oil upgrading vertical. You see, most people that have heard of Aduro Clean Technologies know about its plastic recycling technology. But many don't realize that Aduro started in heavy oil upgrading. It was the discoveries in the heavy oil that led the company to discover plastic recycling, because bitumen is nature's polymer. But for this video, we need to go back to Aduro's HBU or heavy oil upgrading technology. This vertical alone could be worth multiple times the current market cap, and barely anybody is paying attention to this vertical. Remember how cracking revolutionized oil production? Well, Aduro's heavy oil upgrading technology can do something similar. Aduro's own positioning for HBU is straightforward. Apply hydrochemolytic chemistry to improve heavy oil quality and reduce diluent requirement, potentially improving pipeline economics and netbacks. So what's the why now connection to Venezuela? If heavy barrels become strategically relevant again, Venezuela, Canada, or anywhere, then the market will start caring about technologies that can reduce blending burdens, improve transportability, expand buyer refinery optionality, and potentially lift realized pricing. So that's the thesis. Now, do we have a signed Venezuela deal? No. This is not me claiming that Aduro is going to Venezuela next week. This is me saying a world that's refocusing on heavy oil makes heavy oil upgrading a more intuitive story for investors to understand. Because the problem is big. The numbers per barrel add up that fast, and the picks and shovels idea resonates. If you want a full breakdown of Aduro's HBU concept, the flow problem, the diluent burden, the discount problem, and how upgrading could change the economics, I already did a dedicated deep dive video on it, so I suggest you watch this video. With that being said, thank you for watching and see you next time.